All this computer hacking is making me thirsty.
Suds and security.
All I wanna eat is them barbecue chips. All I want is someone just to try to protect us.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Do your thing.
It's time for Suds and Security. Hey, Greg.
What's up, John?
How are
doing
you?
Today?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, it's the holidays and everything's exciting around here. We're in our new location.
It's not snowing.
It's not snowing. Yeah, for those of you who aren't where we are, we're in beautiful Fort Myers, Florida.
Fort Myers, Florida.
So that's awesome because it doesn't snow here. And matter of fact, I do understand we're having a cold front come through, I believe, tomorrow.
0 chance of flurries.
Yes, but there is a slight chance of 68-degree weather, which is yes. So we'll want to dress warm tomorrow. I'll call you in the morning to make sure that you
I'll
have
be bundled up.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the weather, but we are here at our new place, the
New digs.
the Cyber Training Center,
CTC.
at 2211 Widman Way in beautiful downtown Fort Myers.
We're in the Dead Code Cafe, which will be the Dead Code Cafe.
Right. I mean,
Right.
talk about that for a minute.
I love that.
That's
I love
awesome.
the Dead Code
I love
Cafe,
that as well.
right? So yeah,
did I
it's
come up with it?
No, you
Oh.
did not. I found
One
it
of us
in
did.
I found it in a network scan one time.
One of us did.
It was cool. Yeah, cool little MAC address. But so we call it Dead Code Cafe. Nice little lounge we'll have here. Inside our cyber training center, we'll be doing training for end users and companies and cyber stuff, right?
Yeah.
Defense and offense and
Making cyber security habit. That's
Making it habit, right?
Cybersecurity Defense Solutions motto, right?
Love it.
Making cybersecurity habit. So before we get started, what kind of beer you got?
Oh, today I have
Ooh,
Sam Adams Winter Lager.
Yeah, I love that. Very, very holiday-esque.
Is it
right?
holiday-esque?
I went back to my roots.
Back to the old school.
Yeah, Coors, the banquet beer.
Well, that's holiday-ish.
Yeah, I mean that's also is it very holiday-ish? So, but I don't know what your cap says. But the cool thing about Coors is the cap, Coors and Mickey's Big Mouth, by the way. Mickey's Big Mouth has little games in there.
Last one I had, I was like 21.
Well, I know. Well, we're gonna have to get those next
18.
time. But it says quietly work and let success speak up. I mean, this is why I drink beer, because you get a lot of great tips under the
Right off the
caps.
caps,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So let me sample this.
It's got to be awesome. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just love that. So the beer today is, by the way, sponsored by CPR Tools, right? So CPR Tools, they're located at 2022 Hendry Street in beautiful downtown Fort Myers. Telephone number is 844-464-DATA, 844-464-3282. For all your data recovery and data erasure needs, CPR Tools helping you find what you're looking for.
There you go. Come by, take a tour.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool
Yeah,
place.
come by CPR Tools. Love that place. Love that place. Greg and I also own CPR Tools, for those of you who don't know.
Boom. All right.
What are we going to talk about today? What do you
Today,
got
let's talk about toys.
Yes, Christmas toys.
Yeah.
Christmas is here. And Hanukkah. Don't forget Hanukkah. Good shout out to our friend Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Love Ken, our Jewish friend Ken. Maybe we'll have him
And
on
Matt.
sometime.
Matt.
Matt, that's right.
Yeah.
Matt. Yep. Matt
Right
down at the lodge. Yeah, love
Anyway,
Matt too.
So today, a few days ago, I was contacted by the news to talk about some of these recording toys, and we thought it'd be a good idea to do a podcast on. Obviously, the news, it's a 5-second clip they talk about it, but talk a little bit about some of these toys that are out there today. Obviously, these toys we see up here, there's a FTC complaint filed against these toys because of their some deceptive practices they have. But as technology gets smaller and smarter, obviously we have some security concerns around these toys. So what do you think about some of these
Yeah,
things?
I mean, I think it's cool, right? so I saw the little the doll there, and I can't remember the name of it, whatever the cool little name is, my Kaylee or something like that. But
yeah.
I mean, that it's really cool that it can record and then it'll talk back to your.
Well, just think about like the robot. Like, so I have a 3-year-old son,
Yeah.
right? So I think that robot's cool. I mean, they're interactive. They're very engaging. They talk. They record the voice. They talk back. They connect to the internet. They have
Remember the Furby? Do you remember Furby?
I remember Furby.
Yeah, so this isn't new. I can tell you. I remember I worked at
took some Furbies to the shooting range.
I worked at a
once.
place in D.C. for a while, right? And Furby was a big hit there. They actually banned all Furbies from coming into the buildings and all that stuff.
Audio recording.
Yeah, so people had Furbies sitting on their desk, and we're in a very secure facility. So yeah, that was kind of cool. So I think it's the same thing. Technology's been there forever, for this kind of stuff. But these do a little something different, don't they? Because Furby only recorded you. I don't think it didn't have any kind of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection, and these guys do. So
Well, that's the whole thing with toys today, and all the stuff we'll talk about. Is everything wants to be connected, right? Everything wants to be on the net. Everything wants their app. The issue that came about with these was they're recording voice, pictures, that kind of stuff, and then sending that stuff to the toy manufacturer, wherever they may be. You know,
Right.
whether some in the U.S., some in China, I don't know.
yeah, I think my research indicates both of these are not in the U.S.
They're not.
man.
They're not U.S. So yeah, obviously you have your kid's voice, and you've consented to do that. I guess, but there's some EULA that you can never find or whatnot.
Sure, yeah. As soon as you
know,
buy it, that's probably part of it.
And so that's the issue. That's the issue I have, obviously, as a security guy too.
EULA is End Users License Agreement, by the way, for those of you out there that don't know the
sorry
speak.
about that. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry about that,
That's
too.
the beer. You know, it's going to happen. Suds and security, right? So that's part of the issue is, again, not knowing that you're signing up, you know, to have your child's voice recorded and sent and then transferred into text that is searchable for marketing or whatever purposes they want. You know, that bugs me. You know,
Yeah.
that's obviously a concern for me. You know, if it has a speaker, it can be a microphone. We talk about that kind of stuff
Yeah.
all the time. But recording that kind of voice data, obviously, you know, if it's connecting to a Bluetooth phone that has location data, you can get location data from that, and anything else that goes along with that. So if it's snapping pictures, who knows? My kid's private life is my son's private
Yeah.
life. I try to keep him private, right? And having something like this would really concern me as a parent. I mean, that I don't want. Obviously, like I think you had said earlier, you know, what are they going to say?
Yeah, I mean, my background leads me to down a little different path, right? The privacy of our kids and that
I
stuff.
don't want to know about your alternative paths, buddy. I'm just going to be honest.
That was a one-time thing in college,
Yeah,
and I think
once
everybody
that
does
day.
that. But
Nothing wrong with that.
But you know, it scares me for two reasons, honestly, and again, it's because of my previous life. But is it on when it's off, right? So that's a big question I would have.
How do you know?
How do you know that it's not on all the time, right? And you know, people say, "Well, I'll just take the batteries out." Well, you know. Yeah. Okay. So that may make you feel good, but that's not always going to turn
It
everything
doesn't
off.
mean that it doesn't have
Right.
other batteries,
other ways to
plays
power
on, right?
And then of course that Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection, you know, it's not it's because now that's there, I can connect to it. So if I'm, you know, Bluetooth right now, the new Bluetooth 5, I think we just heard the press release yesterday, it can go 120 meters.
Yeah, pretty far.
So that's a long way. So you can be sitting pretty far away. Today Bluetooth's a little bit, they say like I think 20 to 30 meters, but we've done tests and we know that you can go a little bit farther than that, and it depends on a lot of things. But so you're sitting across the street, but now you can sit down the block, right?
Yeah, but
and connect to people's dolls and
some of these
robots.
dolls, from what I read too, I mean, that just like most insecure Bluetooth devices, you know, they didn't have any kind of security around
Sure.
the Bluetooth connection, so obviously connecting to them was trivial. You know, then you know, being able to get probably, you know, they're not red team
I mean,
very
that'd-
well,
yeah.
and being able to get into them, get some of that data yourself if you're outside, and obviously as Bluetooth gets more, and these things happen all the time. We just did and we'll talk about denial of service attacks in another podcast, but we were investigating one where we found someone's Game Boy connected to their network through Bluetooth, right, and it was causing some issues. And that kind of stuff, again, if you don't know what's on your network, and most home users don't, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
how are they going to know that stuff's happening? And then when you start talking about kids, that even ups the ante for me, you know, and the security part of things of what, you know, what are they doing, what are they taking, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I tend to want to believe most people's motives are genuine, but they're not.
Yeah, well, that's
You
the
know.
problem. So that's for everybody out there, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing that criminals in general, no matter whether they're cyber criminals or not, that's what they prey on is our honesty and those types of inherent morals that most of us have. And that's what allows them to succeed most of the time. So those are the kind of things you have to think about. So, you know, people always ask us, well, hey, Greg and John, how do I protect myself? And I mean, the number one way, and I think Greg would agree with me on this, the number one way to protect yourself here is not to buy the particular toy.
And it's just, again, it comes down to education. You know, and I think we're going to segue a little bit into the kind of the IoT things, because it's not
Oh, we
just
are?
toy. Well, I am, because I think it's important.
Oh, boy.
And we've talked about IoT before.
I wasn't prepared for that. Are we just going
to? I'm
okay.
gonna hit
All
it
right.
because
If you
these,
just take the lead.
these devices
All right.
are IoT devices, whether they're toys or whatever they are.
Wait a minute. Obviously, you were prepared for this.
Of course.
You got a slide.
Listen, I do all the work.
Oh, my
Let's just
gosh.
understand who does the work around
I'm the
here,
pretty
right?
face. All right.
But it really is. like this, some of the things we have here, you can see these are.
Oh my God, he
things
was
we have. Oh,
prepared.
I really like. Small,
It'd be nice to know this stuff before I come in here.
I really like small embedded computers, which we use for some projects and things like that. So these are some of the ones we use for some of our pen testing engagements, and we use them for other products that we do on the defensive side. But these are full-fledged computers. I mean, these are single board computers. They're extremely small. They're extremely capable, right? So these things run a full-fledged Linux operating system that can do a ton of things. They have video. I mean, this one even has a microphone built into it, right? So I mean, it has a microphone right there on the board.
Right.
This one has Wi-Fi built in. This one has an LTE card, so a cellular network built into it. Again, just super small. They're low power, and they can do a lot of things. So sticking something like this into a toy is no big deal. Or a toy or a washing machine or whatever.
That's what I was going to say. And so you look at the refrigerators now that take this picture of your milk is empty, and it sends you a text and that stuff. And so what else can they do? And I think that's the big thing. Yeah, we all want to be trusting, and and that's a fault, really, to be honest with you. But it's too bad it is, but it is. But yeah, what else are they doing? And even the harmless stuff, which people say, well, it's all marketing, and they're collecting marketing information and that stuff. Now they know what kind of milk you buy, so they can market that to you on your phone. That's BS to me. I don't need that to happen. I know what kind of milk I buy. I'm going to go buy that same kind of milk. I don't need to be introduced to new milks, not through those means. If you want to do it legitimately, that's fine. But to me, again,
it's all about that disclosure, right? So I think we have an attorney friend, Chris Vernon Litigation.
Oh yeah, maybe he wants to
nice
sponsor
guy.
our beer next time.
And he said some things I think that were actually kind of apt when it comes to the kind of data that comes out of this and what it's worth to you, right? So he's like, if the data they're asking for from you is worth the trade, right? So of what I'm getting back from the device, then maybe it's worth giving your data up for. But if it's not,
but you should be the one to make that choice,
that's what
right?
It comes down to is so having the companies be transparent enough to say, this is the data we're collecting, this is why we're collecting it, and here's how we're going to use it. I think it would go a long way. They're not obviously not.
But I would bet that companies will tell you that they are doing that. But it's in the print that you can't read,
exactly.
right? Or you don't want to read because you have to click the box to bring it up.
Yeah, you agree to all these terms, and it's 6,000 pages of legalese.
Vernon would like it. Vernon would love that. He would love to read all that.
Sure,
yeah.
I don't understand a lick of it, right? So to me, it's got to be more transparent, and legalese is not transparent. So, and that's tough, and it just takes educated consumers, I think, to go out and say, yeah, I bought this device, whatever it is. I understand what it does, and no, I don't want to do that, so I need to get a different device.
Or give you an opt-out on the device itself. Of course, then again, now you're trusting again that they're actually doing what they say they're doing, right? They're actually turning it off when they say they're doing it.
It's scary,
yeah.
Right? I mean,
it's our life now, and it's only going to get worse, right?
Well,
I mean, I love it. Technology's great. We obviously love it. It's how we make a living. But
50 billion devices.
Yeah.
Right? So 390 million people in the U.S., 50 billion devices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I want to say Apple just said we have 5 billion iPhones connected
in the
devices
world
right now. Yeah, they just came out today or something, which is incredible.
This is an order of magnitude
that can track
bigger.
everything. Well, 10 times, but they can also just think of the phones. They can do everything. They track everything and anything you do with that phone.
Well, you just think about again all the stuff. It's not going to stop, right? So
it's
only
going to get worse.
It's not like this. It's a fad. The IoT thing is not a fad, right? So we have to figure out ways that whether it's toys and recording audio or anything else you're putting on your network, you have to find ways to make sure you understand what they're doing, understanding what data they're collecting, where it's going. And have a choice in whether you're going to give that data or not. Obviously, technically, we can stop some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But some of it ain't easy.
Yep.
Right. And most people just don't know, and that's the problem with it, in my opinion. So
final thoughts. I guess my final thoughts would be, if you want to protect your family and you're worried about that kind of stuff, then just don't buy it. If you do buy it, read up on it, study up on it before you do. Make sure you understand what you're giving up, or the information that you may be sharing, and make an educated decision.
Yeah,
right?
It's understanding the information that you're going to share, obviously, because once it goes somewhere, you're trusting their security and all that kind of stuff of where they're hosting that stuff at, and that it's not going to fall in the wrong hands and that kind of stuff. So understanding the data that you're giving out, important. Understanding what they're doing with it, important. Understanding who's acting with that device, what it is, all that stuff's important, so you can make a informed consumer decision.
Hey, real quick, we got to wrap this up. We've got some good email feedback. If you want to email us and you want to ask some questions, or you want to have us talk about a certain certain thing on the podcast here, we're happy to do it. It's info@cybersecdefense.com. Greg will put that up on the video. info@cybersecdefense.com. But yeah, so by all means, send us an email, and we'll be happy to talk about, answer any questions, do that kind of stuff.
The whole reason we're doing this is education, right?
Yep.
It comes down to, besides the fact that
Well,
we get to
fun
drink
and
beer,
drink beer,
right? We
right,
get to
yeah,
drink beer
yeah.
and have a little bit of fun, but it really comes down to education, teaching people, some of the goods and bads about information security and how they can help defend themselves.
All right. Well, hey,
That's it.
until next time, I'm John.
And I'm Greg,
And we're Suds and Security.
and we're watching you.
Bye.